A good time to see all the fans, all the front office staff members, and this is where I got my start. So I love coming back and visiting and seeing what you guys have been up to up north.
Well, and obviously you have the same position with Montgomery now, the Double-A Biscuits in the Tampa Bay Rays system. Give folks an idea of how that season's going. I know you guys have a pretty good team, and some of the things that you're most proud of that you've put together down there in Alabama.
Sure, yeah, we've had a great season so far. We started the season with 9 of the Rays' top 30 prospects this year, including the number 3 prospect, Willie Adames, who's out of the Dominican Republic. So it's been a fun season. Some good pitching, some awesome hitters, and just going to keep going and see what happens.
Your trip back here to York, I know we're taping this on Saturday, but you saw a Friday night win, and seeing a first-place Revs team, you're still a big Revs fan, right?
I'm still a big Revs fan. I listen to you all the time, Daryl, and I want this team to win another championship. So it'll be good for the community, good for the fans, and good for the team.
You got some merchandise to take back home to Montgomery, too.
Yes, I love all the promotions that you guys have been doing. And, fans need to come out, get the bobbleheads, get the tote bags, see the fireworks shows. A lot of affordable family fun here, if you will.
Talking with Stacey Wilkinson, a former marketing director here with the Revs and a friend of the show. And there's a major Revs and Montgomery connection. We have Andres Perez, who's chasing the Revs home run record, and of course Chris Nowak holds that with 59, and he was a former Biscuit back in the day. And I guess in your work in the office and everything, his name has come up, and you've seen some photos of his days down there, haven't you?
Yes, Chris Nowak is still a fan favorite, even down in Montgomery. The fans still remember him, still talk about him. We just did a Biscuits history night, where we recalled all the memories and reminisced. And I think he was part of either the 2006 or 2007 championship team down there. So still a fan favorite, even down in Montgomery. And I know he's still a fan favorite up here in York.
I know to work in baseball, you're a huge baseball fan, and you were telling me that a big highlight at the beginning of this year was your spring training trip. You were able to do that, see a lot of the Rays prospects and Biscuits to be, and what was that like, seeing all the different stadiums in the Grapefruit League?
Yeah, our marketing department took a trip down to Port Charlotte there where the Rays do spring training, and we had 18 former Biscuits that had played on the team either last season or the season before that made the roster, the spring training roster for the Rays. So we headed down there and just did some interviews and caught up with some of our guys and, got to say hi to some of the guys that had been there previously. But good to be down there. They have a great organization, a lot of young prospects coming up through the system, and even some great guys on the major league team with Chris Archer and Kevin Kiermaier and, of course, Evan Longoria. And saw a former Rev down there as well. So Andrew Ball, who's the baseball operations director here, is down there working in baseball operations for the Rays, and he's doing a great job. So it's nice to have a little inside scoop to the team down there, if you will.
From York to Tampa, the connections are abound. Well, Stacey, great to see you. Great to have you come visit us again, and enjoy the rest of your trip, and go Biscuits to you as well.
And go Revs, Daryl.
All right. Former Revs marketing director Stacey Wilkinson, our pregame guest. We've got Mace coming up on the Broadway Transmission Managers Report up next.
Rich Eisen.
I might be the mayor of the Follow Through Challenge.
I like it. The Rich Eisen Show.
Other story that hit me last night that really ticked me off was a report that Chris Berman is retiring from ESPN. I have no idea if this is true or not. His agent, who used to be mine, told the New York Times that Chris is not retiring. This is what I know. Chris Berman's a legend. Chris Berman created SportsCenter. This man, whether it is the end of the line or not for ESPN, whoever is talking outside of the business needs to pipe down and respect what this man has done. I know we're all in this business where we talk about contracts and maybe we don't like it when the lights shine on all of us, but the bottom line is this. Who in the world is talking to somebody, multiple sources, saying Berman's not getting renewed and it's retired? Let him decide and say what he wants to do. Man, that pissed me off. Time to roll.
This is the Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hey, sports fans, great news. You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Walking the dog? Perfect. Trapped at a Renegade scrapbooking fair? We are 98% glitter-free. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse for the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup. It's time for the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Now, here's the manager of the Revs, Mark Mason.
All right, Mace. Well, obviously, your team has been very potent offensively, especially here at this home park. Last night, kind of an outlier. Where did you think the trouble lied in last night's game? First shutout loss at home this year.
Well, I think we chased a lot of pitches out of the zone last night. I thought we were swinging at a lot of balls that were down on the ground, and I just thought we kind of lost sight of the strike zone, and we chased a lot of bad pitches. So, I mean, that's a credit to their guy. I guess if we're going to swing at it, you can keep throwing it there. But I really didn't think we made any good adjustments to their starter, and and next thing you know, we had a lot of zeros up there. We had some chances early in the game. I think we left 6 guys on in the first 4 innings. I think 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. We had some runners at third base with less than 2 outs. They had their infield back, and we didn't get the ball in play in those situations, which we're better than that. So I don't know what was going on last night, but it just seemed like we were just out of sync last night. So hopefully we got that one behind us, and we can come out a little better today.
Does one hit early maybe change everybody's mindset? You're not looking at zeros all night. Does it relax everybody? Was that maybe, even early in the game, one of the most key spots?
I mean, I definitely think it is. And we really didn't even need a base hit in a couple of those situations. A ground ball to a middle infielder would have been a run, or a fly ball would have been a run. So with runners on third base and less than 2 outs, we really didn't need a base hit. So we just needed to get a ball in play, and we struck out in those situations. So that's that's uncharacteristic for us lately, but it did happen last night. I don't know what we were looking for at home plate, but they're not going to let us hit the ball over the left field wall in that situation. So we have to be smarter about what they're going to try to do to us, and just because they show in on a couple of pitches doesn't mean they're going to stay there. So we have to be smarter, and last night we weren't.
Your 2 long guys, Owings got the start last night, Neal backing him up. Both really did a solid job. What were your thoughts on the way that they worked?
I mean, I thought, pitching-wise overall, 2 runs through 8 innings. They had 3 hits. Both of the guys that scored their first 2 runs were on via a walk. So, and the first one was kind of a walk. Maybe, I think it was 2 walks in a row, then maybe a pass ball and a wild pitch, moved both runners up, then a fly ball to center, scored the first run. So that was a run without a hit. And maybe the first 2 runs, I think they did get a hit on the second run to drive the guy in, but the first run was a run on no hits. So, I mean, it was just kind of the night it was. It was like we found a way to hurt ourselves, and and they were, they just kept going right after it and exploiting us at home plate. So we need to do a better job today.
For Micah, it was his first start since that leg tightness. Did he come through that okay?
Well, I mean, I think he started to get a little discomfort there in the 3rd inning, and the pitch count was getting up there too. There was a lot of deep counts. Well, and there's been a lot of deep counts in both of these games. I think the pace of these games have been ridiculously slow on both sides. I just think it's been dragging out. But anyhow, to make a long story short there, I think he started to feel the hammy a little bit in the 3rd inning, so we got him out of there. And then, Matt came in and probably threw the ball as well as he's thrown it in his last 4 or 5 appearances, and gave us 4 solid innings there to get us to the 8th.
Well, today, James Simmons, and that last start in Bridgeport, tough first inning, and then they touched him a little bit late, but in between that, he was cruising pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, he throws, he's pretty consistent. I mean, James is pretty consistent with what he does out there. I really didn't think he had probably the best command of his breaking pitches in Bridgeport the last time. And, that might have been a little bit of a factor why he ran into a little bit of trouble, where he had to rely a little bit more on the fastball, where sometimes he can flip, off-speed pitches in there for strikes. And it's like any pitcher, when you have good command of a second or third pitch on a given day with your fastball, you're going to be out there for a while because you can throw any pitch in any count, and you can keep the hitters off balance really well that way. But so, I mean, we'll anticipate that he'll be solid. He's been solid all year, so, and hopefully he'll do that again today.
Mace, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
That was the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. Before that, an interview with Stacy Wilkinson, who's now with the Montgomery Biscuits. Revs and Barnstormers set to square off in the finale of this portion of the War of the Roses, presented by PNC Bank. Barnstormers holding a 4-2 lead over the Revs in the season series. York can win its first series of the year with a win today. This is the rubber game, of course. Here are the starting lineups, brought to you by Flying Feet. First for Butch Hobson's Lancaster Barnstormers, a very similar lineup to what we saw yesterday. Travis Witherspoon out in center field. Kevin Aarons with his 7-game hitting streak at short. Caleb Gindel with his 6-game hitting streak is in right field. Josh Whitaker in left. Josh Bell at DH. Sean Halton at third base today. Charlie Cutler, who was banged up yesterday, he is healthy and ready to go again. He'll catch and bat 7th. K.C. Hobson at first base, batting 8th. And Lance Zawadski, the second baseman, is batting 9th, and they'll try and get runs on the board for Mike Lee. And this is the Revs lineup. Mark Mason trotting out. Something pretty similar to yesterday, too, with a couple of exceptions. Jason Repko leading off in left. Isaiah Tejeda catching today. Joel Guzman back in the lineup. He had a dental issue on Friday and Saturday, but now he's back, DHing and batting third. Kevin Nash, in the midst of a dreadful 7 strikeouts in 2 games slump, still batting cleanup, still playing first base. Andres Perez on a 9-game hitting streak is batting 5th and playing second base. Alfredo Marte in right, batting 6th. Brian Pounds at third, batting 7th. Josh Wilson, the shortstop, batting 8th. And James Simmons, the center fielder, batting 9th. For James Simmons, the pitcher, who is making his 7th start of the year, trying to improve to 5-1 on this not-so-young season. Actually, check that. This is his 8th start of the year coming up right now. Now, the umpires for today's game, they are congregated around the plate. Brian D. Brower is the home plate umpire. David Snyder at first base, and Dane Rataski at third base. And here come the Revs onto the field, wearing yesterday's shutout uniforms, a rare break with tradition to sort of burn the uniforms that you were shut out with. They're wearing those football-style alternate jerseys. Simmons takes the ball, goes to the back of the hill, and everyone's getting ready for the national anthem. And for that, we'll turn over to our public address man, Ray Jensen.
Remove all cover and help us welcome the Central York Middle School Colonial Fife and Drum Corps performance of our national anthem. A reminder to all fans to please remain standing till the color guard has left the field.
Yes, it does. Boy, that Hamilton musical is just getting more and more popular, isn't it? You've got middle schoolers in a colonial drum and fife corps. Quite the treat here, and what you'd expect out of the Revolution. And they're about to turn around right now. There's everybody waiting for the flags to leave the field. Then everybody can sit down, and then we can get on with the action. Boy, I sure hope nobody's got a bayonet out right now, because they're marching awfully close to the outfielders for the Revs. Cannonball Charlie's probably thinking, I've been upstaged. And they're still going out there. Off to Valley Forge to inexplicably freeze in 78-degree conditions. Those uniforms have to be awfully warm on a day like this. Wool marching uniforms. Are we good? Okay, we're good. And everybody's warming up now, so we can begin the game in earnest. James Simmons taking his warm-up tosses once again. 4-1 with a 3.89 ERA, coming off of a no decision, giving up 7 runs on 12 hits and 7 innings at Bridgeport. The prelude to that miracle 7-run 9th inning in which the Revs had their biggest 9th inning comeback in franchise history. Just part of the charmed existence that is the 2016 York Revolution. 26-17, a 3-game lead in the Freedom Division, trying to make it 4 again over the Lancaster Barnstormers. Again, a weather forecast. Again, the storms not nearly as imposing as they had threatened to be in the run-up all week to this Sunday afternoon game. We're clear for the moment. Clear, of course, meaning no rain. The clouds are still there, obviously. It's overcast, 79 degrees. The storms are supposed to roll in apparently 35% at 2 o'clock. Beyond that, 45% at 3, 70 at 4. But there remains at least a pretty good chance we're going to get an official ball game in today, if not the entire ball game. Your defensive alignment for the Revs: James Simmons, the pitcher; Isaiah Stejeda catching; Talvin Nash at first; Andres Perez at second; Brian Pounds at third; Josh Wilson at short. The outfield: Repko, Simmons, and Marte left to right. Isaiah Stejeda makes his throw over to second base to complete the warm-up. So now, with Travis Witherspoon stepping to the plate, for our Dasher Investment Services first pitch, we turn it over to Darrell Henry, the 10-year voice of the York Revolution.
Thank you, Will, and a good afternoon to everyone. Maybe an omen as the sun is shining right as Tejeda threw that ball down. Gray cloud cover all around, but the sun forcing its way through. Barnstormers in the alternate red tops in which they won last night. Here is the Dasher Investment Services first pitch, and it's right in there for a called strike. 86 degrees on our board here at game time today. First pitch at 106. And the next one is wide on Witherspoon, who's hitting at 245. Couple of home runs, 9 driven in. Last 8 games hitting a .179. 1-1 from Simmons, and a swing and a miss. Good changeup, a foul tip squeezed. The Revs a win away from number 100 against Lancaster all time. They lead both Lancaster and Sugar Land by 3 entering play today. The pitch and a foul back off the net. Last night, Witherspoon, a pretty lengthy at bat to begin things, eventually lined out. Did walk twice last night. He's 2 for 7 in this series. The pitch and a big slow curve, and it just missed high. And that's one that Simmons did not have his usual command of in that last start in Bridgeport. Now the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. He followed up that big arcing curve with a fastball that began out of the same slot. And Witherspoon whiffs. One away. Simmons one short of the league lead in wins at 4-1. The ERA with the start Tuesday night went from 292 to 389, but has been very consistent. Here's Kevin Aarons, who takes a strike. Aarons 10th in the league in hitting at 308. A 7-game hitting streak. The 0-1, and he swings, fouls it back up on the roof. 4 home runs for the year and 30 RBIs, which is one off the league lead. He's driven in 12 in his last 6 games. Simmons the wind and the pitch, and a slider in the dirt. Last night, Aarons had a streak of 6 straight. Runners in scoring position at bats with a hit come to a close, but still drove in his 30th on a sac fly for their first run. Now the 1-2, and a curveball swung on and missed. There's the big old Uncle Charlie from James Simmons. And that thing, when Aaron swung, wasn't even to home plate yet. 2 down on a pair of strikeouts swinging.
That's one of those reaching helicopter swings from Aarons. He just flung the bat out there and looked awfully silly walking back to the dugout.
There's Simmons, a strikeout on a heater, a strikeout on the curve. Here's Caleb Gindel, who swings first pitch and fouls it down the left field side. Gindel 4th in the league in hitting at 344. He's hit safely in 6 straight. On base in 26 of his last 27 games. Pitch from Simmons is line foul up over the roof, third base side. And he's got the jump on Gindel. Simmons 4 runs in the first in his last start, and then was brilliant the next 4 innings before being touched late. He deals, and a curveball breaks down and in. Only the second time in 7 starts he hasn't had a quality start, but he did tie a Revs season best in innings with 7, and it's the 3rd time he's done it. He fires just inside, and Simmons talking to himself a bit, 2-2. The word that we've heard is that it's the inside strike that this crew has really struggled with. 2-2 and a curveball, and that just dipped low. So now he ends up with a full count. They're calling pitches a foot outside, but they're not giving the inside strike. And the payoff pitch. Now, same spot, and it's ball 4. And Simmons shaking his head as he walks in toward home plate. 2 close ones right around the inside corner, and it's a walk to Gindel to keep the inning going. I don't understand why this whole series that's been such a tough pitch to get called. And it's for both teams. Pitchers from both sides have been rather agitated all weekend. Here's Josh Whitaker, and Simmons missing away to start him. Whitaker at 294 at the plate, 6 home runs. Last 3 games he's got 7 hits. Before that he was on a 6 for 37 skid. He was really scuffling but has gotten hot. Pitch is down and away, and now 2-0. A
couple of frustration balls from Simmons after not getting really 2 out of 3 calls there to Gindel. Now he's falling behind.
2-0, and a breaking ball that dips low. Trying to use his curve to get locked back in there, but that broke down out of the zone. And now the 3-0 pitch, and there's a strike. Whitaker on the road hitting .353 with 5 of his 6 home runs. And a 3-hit game here with a homer the other night. Pitch is swung on and fouled back. That'll be up on the roof. Simmons working with Tejeda today, who's back behind the plate. He DH'd last night. On a full count, Gindel will have the head start from first. Simmons tries to wrap up the top of the first. He's ready. Payoff pitch, and that's outside. Back-to-back 2-out walks. And again, twice, he thought he had the previous hitter down, which would have ended the inning. And now Josh Bell to the plate. Bell DHing today, and he's another guy that's been hot for Lancaster. He's at 261 overall with 4 homers. His last 21 games, he's driven in 17, hitting .329 on that stretch. Switch hitter digs in from the left. And Simmons delivers, and a changeup, and that just missed. I mean, I guess he could underhand it in. Well, the 1-0, and a swing and a chopper right side. Nash gloves the high hop. He'll flip to Simmons covering. Took longer than it should have, but he's through a scoreless first. Nash backing up over to his right to handle that. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, but both stranded. We played a half. It's the Barnstormers nothing, and the Revs coming up.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
Just like to say that y'all rock, man.
You can be bad, and as long as you're in on it, like you're sort of in on the joke in Philadelphia. Yeah, we're so bad, but hey, you get Ben Simmons, then maybe it's worth it. What if you don't get Ben Simmons? What if you have the 4th pick? What if you get the 3rd pick? What if you missed out on Ingram from Duke? You wanted to be bad to get good. You got bad and are still bad.
Dan Patrick. Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Hey, sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Gone shopping with the wife? No problem. Tongue stuck to a flagpole? Pass the time after you've called the fire department. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Come on! Colin Cowherd.
Draymond Green, in my opinion, will not end his career as a Warrior. He will wear people out. When you're winning, the egos are fine. What if OKC knocks him out? How hard is Draymond Green to deal with them? They had guys that talked a lot and had egos. Notice how they started wearing each other out when a few losses piled up?
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 3 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Now James Simmons managed to work a scoreless first inning despite the pair of 2-out walks, 10 extra pitches that didn't need to be thrown. Mike Lee getting set to make his second start after 11 relief outings as well. He's 1-1 with a 4.58 ERA for the Barnstormers. 19 2/3 innings, 23 hits, 9 walks, 16 Ks. Opponents hitting .295 with a pair of long balls against him. And Jason Repko, who returned here Friday night, will start all 3 games in this series in left field. Hitting at .295 as he digs in. And Lee, who stands angled toward third, a short step to the windup, and the righty delivers a first pitch strike.
Lee, another one of these Blue Jays cast-offs. Spent last year primarily with New Hampshire before being released and signing with Toronto South.
Pitch here is down and in, and it's 1-1.
Toronto South and Milwaukee East, pretty much.
It truly is amazing how many Blue Jay farm hands are here. The 1-1, and a fastball, that's just inside. And I'm sure there's no question Casey Hobson had a role in that, and now he's here.
So you think the pipeline will stop?
Now he'll still know a bunch. Here's a ground ball foul, third base side. Maybe in a couple of years it'll stop. But there's connections there. 2-2 on Repko. Revs did hit the Barnstormers last night, but trying to bounce back from the shutout defeat. Pitch from Lee, and that's inside, a fastball at 89. No, Repko, good leadoff man. He works a full count to start the day. Scoreless here in the first inning. And Lee, the windup, the 3-2. Swinging a foul tip, back to the backstop. Dave Collins just showed me a note pointing out we don't have a first base coach. Maybe a new strategy.
Oh.
And if it works, I mean, do we really have to have one?
If it works, you save money on personnel on the ghost who was never there in the first place, since they just alternate first base coaches.
Pitch to Repko is a called third strike. Look at him. He's running to first base, and he's called out about a third of the way down the line by the time he realized it. What we've heard is that the inside strike's not being called, but about a foot off away is, and Repko thought that was outside, and he's down for the first out. They should just move the whole plate over. Now Matt Neal is thrown on the coach's helmet. He's at first. Unfortunately, that no first base coach did not work there.
Nah. What Tejeda stands close to the plate as is. You ought to stand a little closer.
First pitch to Isaias is over at the knees. Well, he didn't think so. It's a called strike, and the Revs dugout is all over Brian DeBrouwer, who waves them off and says no more.
Oh, he was here on Memorial Day, that game that went 13 innings, so they got a lot of experience taking a look at his strike zone.
Here's the 0-1. And a swing and a ball chopped foul, third base side that Tejeda should not have had to swing at. It was down and in, but already had a strike on him, and now he's got two on him. Third in the league in hitting at .345. He's moved up to third. He's also third in on base, fourth in slugging. First in your hearts. There's the wind and the 0-2. And a curveball grounded left side. Right there, though, is Halton, who dropped it, picks it up. Throw is still in time to get the catcher by a step. Halton a half step to his left to get to it. And it did take the old Sunday hop for him. 2 down in the inning. Hit fairly sharply, but Lee has set down his first 2. And back in the lineup today, Joel Guzman, who underwent a little dental procedure a couple of days ago and missed 2 games. Guzman DHing today, 8th in batting at .312. 7 homers, tied for third in the league, and 28 ribbies is third most. And he gets hit on the first pitch, right at him, and got him in the torso. Lee points to himself, though, and says, "My bad." And I can't imagine he'd want to put anybody on base in front of Talvin Nash. So Guzman will wear it and head to first. Revs have their first base runner of the day. And here is Talvin, who's due to break out. Tough night last night with 4 Ks, 3 the night before that. League leader in home runs with 11. Batting at .278. 21 knocked in. And Lee with the pitch to him, and he swings and fouls it back. No balls, 1 strike. No score here in the first.
Talvin hasn't homered in about a week and a half. He's seen the OPS dip below 1,000 for the first time in about a month. That's how good he was for the first month of the season.
0-1 pitch, fastball down low. One thing that Mace talked about specifically with last night's game, Revs did do a lot of chasing, and then they would end up maybe looking for the breaking ball, and they'd take one that was good. Pitch to Nash is just inside, and it's 2-1. And Nash trying to simplify things and get back to a comfort level at the plate. Outfield has him played slightly to pull it. 2-1, and he swings and skies this one up in the air in shallow right. Caleb Gindel sprinting toward the line, and he's there in time and makes the grab. As Nash got under that one, it was in the air for quite a while. No runs, no hits. Revs leave one runner, and we go to the second, no score.
Broadway Transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man. I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Hey Revs fans, want to get in the game? You can throw out an honorary first pitch this season by bringing a group to People's Bank Park. Select groups who reserve tickets in the month of May will receive a first pitch courtesy of Bell Socialization Services with support from Adhesives Research. For information, call Reed Gunderson at 717-801-4498. Celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, Bell provides housing supports and living skills training to more than 1,400 people every year here in South Central PA through its mental health, intellectual disability, and homeless service programs. Bell Socialization Services, empowering lives every day.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Top of the second, no score here on this Sunday afternoon from People's Bank Park. Again, the sun trying to hint its way through. Kind of a humid and warm day with the threat of whatever at some point, I guess. But who really knows? Here's Sean Halton leading off the second inning. He plays at third today, DHing the first two nights, and Simmons fires a strike into him. Halton hitting at .288, 4 home runs in just 18 games since coming back from Mexico. And the 0-1 from Simmons, a foul tip straight to the backstop. 0-2. Simmons, 2 walks with 2 outs in the first inning, but got a ground out to avoid any trouble. Faces Lancaster for the first time this year. He deals, and a fastball missed up and away. He missed that first series in Lancaster. He started the first game the following night at New Britain, so he had a travel day start. And then he started the first game at Bridgeport, so he had another long bus ride start. And there's a big curve and a swing and a miss. Halton down, flailing at the 64-mile-an-hour curve. Simmons with his third K.
That thing obeyed the speed limit. It was so slow.
Better than I do. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Hi, YPD.
No, I do mind the signage.
Oh, I'm sure.
Here's Charlie Cutler. He's hitting at .299 with 2 homers. Depends on how late for the bus I am. There's a fastball for a called strike.
And what's on the radio?
That too. My radio is always on Sports Radio 1350.
Okay, so you go like 80 when Cowherd's on, huh?
Yeah. Change up. Evidently missed low, and Simmons talking to himself again. I think these pitchers might have some breakthroughs today with themselves, all the talking that they're going to be doing. Here's a line drive the other way and a base hit to left center. So Cutler back in the lineup after missing a night. He's got Lancaster's first hit. First hit of the game, in fact.
Well, I got the Doppler pulled up now, and you can just see this huge wall of weather that's coming our way. It's just passed over Altoona. It's probably a half hour from Harrisburg.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Now this will be a fun practice get-together, maybe.
Good thing I brought a book.
Here's Casey Hobson. He swings first pitch and launches a high fly toward the corner and right. Alfredo Marte has it lined up, and the catch is made fairly deep in right. And knowing Hobson's dad, I'm sure KC has plenty of pop in that bat. Gave it a ride, but flew out.
It's one of those days you don't really want pop, though. Hey, Casey, don't hit it so high. You're going to bust a cloud.
2 down in the inning, and Lance Zawadzki rounding out Lancaster's lineup today.
He's the K man. Breadsticks can make any rain delay better, potentially.
And first pitch, swing and a miss. He chased a high fastball. 5 games played, he's 2 for 16 with a homer. A strained oblique, and it cost him about the first half of the first half. Now the 0-1, and that missed outside.
Simmons is showing off great range of his stuff today. Touching high 80s with that fastball and then bringing it all the way back to the mid 60s with the breaking stuff. How do you even work with a pitcher like that?
Next one is fouled, back and out of play. Bang. As that bounces down from the upper deck. I asked him how he kills the velocity on that curve, and he doesn't know. He just throws it, and that's how slow it comes out. It's very different than most.
I think we're going to see it again right here.
Here's the 1-2. We did, and it missed up and in, apparently, at 66. Revs fans really giving it to the plate ump.
They must have been here last night, too.
And now they want their breadsticks. 2-2, and a foul back off the net. So they'll be even more rabid in this situation. No score, second inning. Simmons with a runner at first and 2 outs. He's got his sign, the stretch, he deals, and the slow curve is yanked into right. Marte will have to play it on a hop. As it got down in front of him, a base hit. Throw comes in towards second. And Zawadzki sat back on the breaking ball that time, yanked a single to right. Barnstormers with first and third. And back to the top of the order, and Travis Witherspoon.
Yeah, he was waiting for that one. He knew it was coming. And the thing for Simmons, once the surprise of that slow curveball is gone, then he's got to really put some wicked movement behind it, because if it's even slightly more stable than it had been before, that's a batting practice pitch essentially.
Witherspoon struck out against him in the first. First offering this time, a fastball just up and in. There's like a hole in the strike zone right there that it just disappears into oblivion, or Bolivian like Mike Tyson called it or whatever. There's the 1-0, and there's a called strike, 88 on the outer edge. A pair of singles for Lancaster this inning. 1-1, runner goes from first, and a little trickler along the line at third. Simmons will pick up. He fires it just in time to get the quick Witherspoon, and that'll end the inning. Cutler held at third. It was hit right in front of him along the line at third. And Simmons only played to first, and he got it done in the nick of time. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless.
It's the angles, the ball skills, the corner kicks. It's knowing how to shield a defender off the ball. It's knowing how to make a wall pass. It's knowing how to curl the ball, how to chip it, how to trap it, how to launch it, how to finish it. It's soccer, and nobody knows that better than Flying Feet sports shoes. Flying Feet. Suit up for soccer at Flying Feet, where players new to the game find everything they need, and collegiate-level players find all that and more. Soccer shoes for men, women, and children from the names that know the game. Adidas, Diadora, Lotto, and Nike. Players choose Flying Feet to get the right shoe at the right price, plus a huge selection of soccer socks, soccer shorts, shin guards, and sports bags. Even referees get the nod at Flying Feet, where refs come for all their gear. Individual players, entire teams, if it's soccer, it's Flying Feet sports shoes, the sportswear specialty store without specialty store prices. Flying Feet. 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, just off exit 18 of I-83, next to Battery Warehouse.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
No score. We head to the bottom of the second here on what for now is just a mostly cloudy afternoon. Andres Perez to lead things off. Dre at 280 coming in on a 9-game hitting streak, hitting 389. Has 5 home runs, 23 knocked in.
And hitting 421 in his last 5 games. He's on fire.
First pitch, he watches it over for a strike.
Just had a visit from Daryl, our good buddy Bob, who was a former trainer here with the Revs.
That's right. Bob Burton is the 0-1. And fastball missed down and in.
Brought us a couple of Mountain Dews here, and I'm going to take that as an endorsement from a medical professional that Mountain Dew is beneficial for your body.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yay!
Like a good trainer would. The 1-1 swung on, bounced to third. Halton gloves it, couple of hops. He'll pump and throw it across, and there's one away. That's all I needed to be told, or shown. A Mountain Dew delivered by a medical professional.
That's an endorsement.
All is now right with my diet.
Yes.
Here's Alfredo Marte. Marte in his 9th game today. He's hitting at .314 with 2 jacks. And the first offering is down and away. And he's hit safely in each of his last 5. No score here in the second. Now Lee, the kick and the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Marte maybe reaching down a little bit for that one. Tell you, I have a legit concern that our chance to get 5 innings in today might be impacted by the strike zone. As Marte asks for time, and again here today, and maybe as a result, pitcher's not in a great rhythm. The 1-1 swung on, ripped down the line at third. Halton, a diving play and a fall down throw. Got him. Are you kidding me? Sean Halton with what might be the play of the year. He dove full extension to the line, and he wanted to get to his knees to make the throw. He fell down toward his throwing side, falling onto his right arm, and he somehow, before he landed, chucked it across and right on the money. It cannot get any better than that from a third baseman. You've got to tip your cap. Amazing play, and Marte flat robbed. 2 down. Larceny at third. And here's Brian Pounds as he watches a first pitch strike. Good night, what a play. Pounds hitting at 238. Here's the 0-1. And a swing and a miss. A slider up. Lee kept it away from him, though. What a big lift for Lee. That was extra bases all the way. And then it wasn't. Here's the 0-2. And a swing, and Pounds just nicked it foul, able to reach that ball away.
We've seen good third base defense from no matter who Butch has put over at third base in this series. Yesterday it was Josh Bell who had a couple of spinorama plays, and then that.
Wow.
You're not going to get any better than that.
Pitch to Pounds, a foul tip that ricocheted off, I believe, Cutler and back to the screen.
And that's the type of third base play that you can build a reputation on.
There's a little break in the clouds, some blue straight overhead. Well, Lee winds and deals. And just outside, yeek. That's the one they have been calling. How far away is that rain, Will?
Well, it's crawling across my screen right now. It's on I-76 towards Harrisburg.
There's the 1-2, and Pounds lifts it in the air, right field. Backing up is Gindel, now toward his right, staggers a bit, but he squeezes it. 1-2-3 inning for Mike Lee with some serious help from his third baseman, Sean Halton. We go to the third today. Revs and Barnstormers still scoreless.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community.
And hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called People's Bank Park. People's Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at People's Bank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Ross Brothers Barbecue is serving up the hits every Saturday night this season at People's Bank Park. Stop by Arch Street Eats on the third base corner and load up on delicious, fresh-made local barbecue. All of Ross' sauces and sides are made from scratch daily. All meats are smoked for an authentic barbecue done right. Ross Brothers also offers drive-through, dine-in, and carry-out from the restaurant at 3096 Carlisle Road in Dover, as well as delivery and full-service catering. Ross Brothers can cater any sized event from fundraisers to graduation parties to weddings. Ross Brothers Barbecue every Saturday night at People's Bank Park.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Head of the third inning. And no score. Revs still without a hit thanks to that Sean Halton play. Kevin Aarons to lead off the third inning. James Simmons' first pitch is fisted to shallow left, and that'll drop. First pitch swinging right off the bat handle, and he loops one in. It's an 8-game hitting streak for Aarons to begin the third. Lancaster with their third single off Simmons. Two hot teams. Revs have won 9 out of 12. Lancaster 7 out of 9. York going for a fourth straight series win today.
They still haven't lost a series at home this season.
Here's Caleb Gindel, who walked in the first. Simmons the pitch, and it's just outside.
Closest they came was about a month ago against New Britain. They were down 3-1 with their last out on the board in the bottom of the ninth, but Andres Perez responds with the 3-run homer to win it. His biggest hit of the year.
Dre to the rescue. There's a change up, and that's over for a strike. Top of the zone from Simmons. 1-1 the count. That line for Simmons, his last start, 7 innings, 7 runs, but he had a stretch where he was mowing them down. Now holds, deals, and a comebacker. What a grab. He'll throw to second. Wilson's there. Sidearms to first for the double play. 1-6-3. It was hit sharply back at Simmons. All reaction from the pitcher, who had to reach down almost knee-high and threw it to second, knowing Wilson would be there, and they turn it.
Knee-high and across his body. Not the easiest bit of move from James Simmons there. His body was essentially one giant target with that ball, and he was able to stop it from hitting him.
Here's Josh Whitaker, who takes one in near the hands. Whitaker a walk in the first inning. No score here in the third inning. And Simmons back to the windup. A curveball swung on and missed. And Whitaker waved so hard at that pitch that wasn't there yet. His thumb guard came off his hand and rolled down to third like a ground ball. I've never seen that before.
Oh, the beauty of baseball. You see something new every time.
Some of the hitters wear a vibration guard. And that's what went flying, the pitch. It's down and away, 2-1. Sometimes you hit it wrong and your nerve will hurt on the thumb over and over. That's why they wear it. Here's a fastball for a called strike, 2-2. And Pounds almost was able to pick it up with his glove and throw to first. Simmons the kick and the pitch. And off the plate away. A full count. It's his 50th pitch.
A few Revs fielders thought that one was going to be strike 3 called the way they've been calling the outside strike. They were heading back to the dugout.
Payoff pitch. Oh, line to center. Simmons has to duck, and that'll zip on into the outfield for a 2-out base hit. So again, he's close to ending the inning, but Josh Whitaker on base for the second time. On our WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report today, Tyrell Harris is inactive for a couple of days with a left shoulder strain, but not as bad as they originally thought. And Lancaster Jeff Coburnis had, was it a hamstring injury, Will?
Hamstring injury, yeah.
He's almost back. Here's Josh Bell. He swings, drives one to center. James Simmons will drift back. And playing deep out there, he is there and makes the catch to end the inning. No runs on 2 singles, one of them left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Revs and Barnstormers all squared at nothing.
Current school not meeting your child's unique needs? Check out family-centered public cyberschooling from Commonwealth Charter Academy. CCA students attend virtual classes led by Pennsylvania certified teachers, and enrollment is open year-round with no waiting list. For open house dates in your area, visit ccaeducate.me or call toll-free 1-844-590-2864. That's 1-844-590-2864.
Take it from me, guys. You want to make life happier? Your wife wants a nicer lawn, the kind of lawn you see on Home and Gardens and Martha Stewart. Here's a hint. You're not alone. Call your pals at Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. They've got a way with lush lawns that the ladies like. And as you know, happy wifey, happy hubby. Winky face. Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. World-class care right in your backyard. 717-292-9994.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
No score as we go to the home half of the third. And Josh Wilson will get things started. Wilson, Simmons, and Repko due for the Revs, who were robbed of a hit and without a hit through 2 innings. Mike Lee, who stands toward his third base dugout, short step back, lifts and fires, and Wilson yanks a ground foul. Wilson hitting at .263 with 4 long balls, hit his 4th here 2 nights ago. Barnstormers with 4 hits, but James Simmons has worked out of trouble. The 0-1, and a swing and a foul back up onto the roof. Mike Lee, his first Atlantic League start on Tuesday, 4 innings, 1 run against Long Island. And an 8 1/3 inning scoreless streak in relief before that. He misses down and away, and it's skipped by Cutler. 1-2.
Sort of ball skipping away we would have expected from Mike McDade yesterday. The emergency catcher behind the plate for the first time since high school, and he did a pretty solid job. I think we only saw 1 ball get away from him.
Earned himself the day off today. Pitch to Wilson. Swing and a miss. And he might have been thinking breaking ball out of the hand. Lee got him to chase. Up and in. It stayed straight. 1 down. It's the second strikeout for Mike Lee. And here's James Simmons. And Will, you added a great note. Simmons batting when Simmons pitches.
He's a .308 hitter when James Simmons pitches. He's hitting 8 for 26 with a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, and 4 runs. So his name twin, he comes to bat for him.
That is special. Here's the first offering, and it's a fastball over for a strike. Next homer will be the 100th of his pro career. He hit number 99 here on Friday night. On the 0-1, and a swing and a foul tip off the catcher's mitt. Big sweeping hook there from Mike Lee. And that is the book on a lot of the right-handed hitters, and the Revs have seen a lot of his breaking balls this weekend. 0-2 to Simmons, and he lays off this one down in the dirt. He was struck out 3 times last night. Revs were struck out as a team 12 on their most frustrating offensive night at home thus far, where they really have been dominant. And the 1-2, swing and a miss. And a little cut away from Mike Lee on that one, 2 down. And the first time through the order, his only base runner coming on a hit by pitch from Guzman back in the first. By the way, our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest today, Greta Bankert is our contestant. Greta, if the Revs go yard, you win. Good luck to you. And thanks for playing. Give it your all. Here's Jason Repko. First pitch from Lee is tapped foul behind home. Scoreless here in the bottom of the third. Lee struck out Repko in the first on a strike call where he was about a third of the way down to first base, thinking he had ball 4. Well, the 0-1, and he shows a bunt, and the pitch missed low. Revs saw Lee for 1 inning in relief back in mid-May. And he has been a starter in his career, 105 starts before this year. 10-game winner a couple of years back as a starter. He deals. And a swing and a miss, a slider to Repko. He's been in the Red Sox, Braves, Blue Jays, and Diamondbacks systems, reaching AAA. The 1-2, and that's down and outside. Lee's next pitch will only be his 40th. And he won't do it with this ball as he tosses in for a new one. Last night, Will, I was watching the end of the Dodgers-Braves game, and whoever the Dodgers had in relief, he threw to the dugout for a new ball, but time wasn't called yet.
Oh, no.
It was an error, and they moved up. Here's a swing, and Repko just got a piece, a foul tip behind the plate.
Oh, no.
It didn't matter. They were up 4-0, but
okay.
he got an error because he threw it into the dugout, and it went out of play.
And they'll never let him forget about that.
No chance. On the wind and the pitch. And a swing and a line drive hit into right center. Revs with their first hit of the day. And Repko is going to try to hustle it out. Throw to second. He beats it. He slides in with a 2-out double, thinking 2 all the way. There's a lot of guys that would have thought, oh, that's a single. As the center fielder Witherspoon and Gindel from right both got to it, but not Repko, thinking 2 out of the box. And he's at second for Tejeda.
Well, he had that hamstring injury for a couple of weeks. He's been itching to get out and tear up the base paths there. Never stopping and running in with a double. That's a leadoff guy, a speed guy, and a guy who hasn't run for a couple of weeks wanting to break it in again.
And hitting well before the injury and swinging the bat pretty well here in 3 games since coming back. Here's Isaiah Tejeda, who grounded out to third in the first. Sun reappears, and Tejeda takes low. Well, if he can come up with a hit, Revs could jump in front here after being silenced the first time through the order. No score, 3rd inning. Tejeda hitting .412 with men in scoring position. He'll ask for time and back out. He is their best in that department. Now Lee, the 1-0. And that's a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Revs as a team hitting .282 with men in scoring position, and as a team average, that's pretty good.
Tejeda himself, .412 hitter in that situation, and .333 with 2 outs.
Repko the lead, the pitch to Tejeda, that's down low, and it's 2-1. And if he can even just get on, you've got Joel next. He's really excelled in that spot also. Now Lee looking in and ready. The 2-1. Swing, and he popped him up. He jammed him, and Lee is going to give way to Hobson over from first to catch it. At first, Lee thought it might have to be him. It was right near the mound and not very high. And I'm not sure, it looked like he looked up toward the sun and maybe lost it momentarily, but Hobson was there. 2-out double for Repko, but he's left on, and we go to the 4th. Will DeBoer will have the call. Revs and Barnstormers are scoreless.
Smith, Mayer & Little is a holistic wealth management group with one product, advice. We aim to simplify our clients' lives, help them retire comfortably, and build lasting legacies for their families and the causes they care about. Our purpose is simple, to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our clients, our community, and the world in which we live with the advice we provide. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. We make our living by making a difference. Visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
How does it feel to win $100,000 home makeover from the Pennsylvania Lottery with top prizes of $100,000? It's amazing! Because the instant you play could be the instant you win. And even if you don't win instantly, you can enter the second chance drawings online at PALottery.com for a chance to win a $100,000 home makeover or one of 1,000 other prizes. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Keep on scratching. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Eric Hosmer's got nothing on this. Mad Dash Grilled Cheese is comfort food at its finest. Mad Dash is Central PA's favorite artisan grilled cheese truck, bringing you creative concoctions with the freshest and most flavorful ingredients. Available for food truck festivals, weddings, corporate, and private caterings. Find Mad Dash this year along the third base line at Peoples Bank Park for all York Revolution home games. Call 717-574-5168 or visit online at mad-grilledcheese.com. Mad Dash Artisan Grilled Cheese. Welcome home.
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
We head to the top of the fourth inning, scoreless. Revs and Barnstormers here on the War of the Roses, presented by PNC Bank. James Simmons and Mike Lee trading goose eggs for the first 3 innings, and now Simmons will have the 6, 7, 8 hitters in his scope for the top of the fourth. That's Halton, Cutler, and Hobson. First, Sean Halton, a strikeout victim his first time up. Simmons the wind and the first pitch. Drilled deep to right field towards the line. Marte, a long run for it. Slides, can't come up with it. It gets past him, trickling towards the corner, and Halton will cruise into second base with a leadoff double. Second straight inning, the Barnstormers have gotten themselves a hit off of Simmons' first pitch. And for Halton, more success today. A career fielding highlight for him. That came back in the second inning to rob Marte of extra bases. That full extension dive over at third base. So Halton 2, Marte nothing today in terms of big plays. And the Barnstormers have a man in scoring position and 3 chances to bring him home. The first will fall to Charlie Cutler. Cutler 1 for 1 today. He singled back in the second inning, got all the way to third before being stranded. He'll try and break up the scoreless draw. Simmons checks the runner, checks him twice. The kick and the first pitch. Little breaking ball, inner black for strike 1. That one at 76 miles an hour. Now Cutler, the left-handed hitting catcher, stands back in, hands above his head with the bat. The 0-1 popped him up, very shallow left field. Repko under it, makes the catch, 1 away. Well, let's take a look at our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. It's a full Sunday afternoon of games here across the Atlantic League. 1 game delayed already right now. Southern Maryland at New Britain has not gotten underway. In New Jersey, scoreless, Patriots hosting the Bridgeport Bluefish. And, well, they're playing a doubleheader today, the Bluefish and Patriots are. And then later on, Sugarland and Long Island as Casey Hobson fouls one out of play. 0-1 the count. Hobson a fly ball to right field his first time up. The coach's kid getting his 3rd appearance for the Barnstormers. 2nd start after pinch hitting on Friday night and reaching on an error. There's the 0-1. Big hook. And it's in the inside corner for strike 2. 64 miles an hour. A borderline eephus pitch from James Simmons. He's really got that down. Now the 0-2 pitch comes back with a fastball. Hobson lifts it out into right. That falls for a base hit. DJ Boston giving a red light to Sean Halton, who stops at third base. So a couple more hits in the inning for the Barnstormers. They are up to 6 on the afternoon. And with men on the corners and 1 out, Lance Zawadski will try and break this scoreless duel in the top of the 4th inning. Zawadski, a single of his own back in the 2nd. Simmons looking for a big strikeout here. If he gets it, the crowd gets breadsticks. I'm sure he'll take a double play ground ball as well, though. Middle infield at double play depth. Nash holding Hobson aboard. The first pitch is a breaking ball left outside, ball 1. Barnstormers, 6 hits on the afternoon. York with just 1. Still nothing for either side in the runs column. Simmons ready. He's working from the third base side of the rubber. Here's the kick in the 1-0. Little tapper brings Simmons off the mound. He makes the underhand flip to first. Nash barehands it. Works like a squeeze bunt. Halton comes in to score. It's an RBI 1-3 ground out for Lance Zawadzki, and the Barnstormers are on the board. It's 1-0 Lancaster. Hobson moving up to second base on the slow roller. And with 2 outs and a man in scoring position, Travis Witherspoon will have his turn at the dish. Witherspoon, to put it kindly, not hitting very well with men in scoring position and 2 outs. He is 0 for 11. And a fly ball into shallow center field. Monty broken his bat. Simmons dives, and he flips it away from himself. He had it in the mitt for the briefest of moments. Got the hand jammed underneath him. That ball went flying out. The shortstop had to get it out from left field, so called the broadcaster's curse. Travis Witherspoon's now 1 for 12 with men in scoring position and 2 outs. Into scores Hobson. It's 2-0 Lancaster. A brilliant effort from James Simmons, a man who has a ton of range out in center field. Anyone with less ability wouldn't have even made that one close, and Simmons a squeeze away from making a season highlight for himself. So now Kevin Aarons, the first pitch to him is a fastball missing above the letters, ball 1. Aarons 1 for 2 today, extending his hitting streak to 8 games. Witherspoon inching off of first base, Nash holding the board, and Simmons makes a toss over to first. Witherspoon 178 minor league stolen bases, 5 already with the Barnstormers. He's a man who likes to run, and for the Barnstormers a chance to really put some distance between themselves and the Revs at a time when York's offense is sputtering. And Nash flips the ball out of his glove as Simmons threw to him from first base, but Witherspoon realized it a split second too late. So the 4th inning, apparently sponsored by Dr. Clowno's Juggle Gym. Everyone's juggling the ball around. Simmons, Nash, and Nash juggles it to himself that time as Simmons made another pickoff attempt. That's 3 now that Simmons has made, keeping an eye on Witherspoon, who once stole 44 bases in 102 games at the single-A level with Cedar Rapids. That was in 2011. Simmons a fastball outside corner called strike 1. Barnstormers up 2-0, looking for more. It's Witherspoon on first with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Simmons sets the chest. Here's the rock and the roll. There goes Witherspoon. It's a pitch out. Tejeda's throw is high. The tag is true. Simmons had it read like a book, and Tejeda with a textbook throw. Witherspoon caught stealing. 2-4 in your scorebook, and that will retire the side. But the Barnstormers break through. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, nobody left on. Middle of 4th, your score, Lancaster 2, York nothing on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
Hey sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stuck in line at the dry cleaners? No problem. Hung up in Helsinki? Say hi to our Finnish friends for us. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series continues on Friday, June 17th with a Bruce Arians Gnome giveaway. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
Come on! Colin Cowherd.
We fell in love with a three-point shot. Oh, it solves everything. Three-point shot solves everything. No, it doesn't. It creates so many blowouts. Again, I'm comparing Golden State to what Oregon football did. They created a system. They beat everybody to the punch, and good for them. I'm for innovation. But I don't want football to look like every 13 seconds you have a football play and there's no huddles.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 3 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. First in York, first in sports.
Bottom of the fourth, Guzman, Nash, and Perez. That ought to produce something. The Revs are going to need something. They're down 2-0 to the Barnstormers. The first pitch from Mike Lee is a strike right down George Street, 0-1. Guzman hit by a pitch his first time up. He was the first base runner of the game for the Revs, who now need a few more base runners. The 0-1, low and away for ball one. Lee working with a lead for the first time today. The reliever by trade up until this week, keeping the pitch count fairly low, just 45 pitches to get through the first 3 innings. Into the windup, here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Late movement on that 86-mile-an-hour pitch, and Guzman's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joel fresh into the lineup after missing a couple of games with a dental procedure, and he flies this one out into shallow right field. Easily playable for Gindel, who comes in to make the catch, 1 away. So with 1 out, Telvin Nash coming to the dish. Nash, after wearing the golden sombrero yesterday, at least put a ball in play his first time up, a shallow fly ball to right field. I'm sure a step up for him. Lee dusting his cleats on the mound like he's a bull ready to charge. The first pitch is lined into right center field, but it hangs up there for Gindel, who makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning. Two up and 2 down for Lee, who's only given up 1 hit and 1 additional base runner thus far. He'll face Andres Perez, trying to get through the inning, 1-2-3. Dre up to a 9-game hitting streak. Revs have had a handful of double-digit gamers on the season. The highest was Jason Repko, the season-opening 11-game hitting streak. Isaiah Tejeda had a 10-gamer in May, so did Telvin Nash, but no one's yet reached a dozen. First pitch, Dre takes a strike, a breaking ball at the letters, 0-1. Perez, 511 hits. That is a Revolution all-time record, and 1,010 for his professional career. The 0-1 pitch, low and away. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Barnstormers a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lee fidgeting with his mitt and the ball. Now he finds a comfortable spot. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2. Another late breaker at 86, and Perez is down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dre stands back in, taps the plate a couple of times, shakes the right leg, and now he's ready. Here's the 1-2 from Lee. Held up on the reach, and he did not go around, says David Snyder, the first base umpire. Nice strong wrists from Dre not to go around on that pitch. And that moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuce is wild with 2 outs. Infield playing back as Lee delivers the 2-2 pitch. And a ground ball right between the wickets, up the middle, a base hit. Number 10 for Andres Perez. He is 1 back of the Revs' season-high hitting streak. And Mike Lee, he's a pretty tall specimen there. He stands at 6'7", and that went through a arch about the size of St. Louis, right up the middle. Nice placement from Dre, who continues his hot start to June. It's a 2-out base runner for the Revs, and Alfredo Marte the next man up. Marte, grand larceny over at third base. Halton just robbed him of a double potentially in that second inning, and that first pitch is low for ball 1. And then you turn around and Halton drops a double right in front of Marte in the beginning of this inning, the top of the 4th. We'll see if the third time is the charm for Marte if he lines one over towards the third baseman's direction. Short lead for Dre. Here comes the 1-0. Little check swing. Did he go around? No, says David Snyder. Watches it miss outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. A good hitter's count coming here. York down 2-0 for the moment. Perez on first with 2 outs. Lee wipes the sweat from his upper lip. Chews a couple of times. Looks from home to first. Now he's ready. The kick, the 2-0. Fouled back to the screen. Jammed him inside, and now it's 2 balls and a strike. Alfredo Marte, the former major leaguer, got some time in with Arizona and the Angels between 2013, 14, and 15. Dropped into the Revs laps after spending a couple of weeks with Lehigh Valley and Norfolk this season. And Dre is caught off the bag. He leaned towards second base, and he was too late getting back in a pickoff move. Lee to Hobson, and that will retire the side. Oh, Dre starts the rally, and he ends it himself. For the Revs, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. End of the 4th, your score, Lancaster 2, York 0 on the WOIK Revs Radio Network.
You hear a lot about CPAP masks these days, but here's something you don't hear much about. Over half of the people who wear a CPAP mask for sleep stop wearing it within a year. How's that working for you? Dr. Gordon Bell would like you to hear this. York Dental Sleep Therapy has dental options that can help many of those people. If you or someone you live with is struggling with sleep apnea, visit yorksleep.com and see how Dr. Gordon Bell can help return your home to peaceful nights of deep, restful sleep. If you're groggy during the workday, if you wake up feeling exhausted, if you would like to get your nighttime sleep patterns back to a healthy state, get a confirmation from your doctor, then meet with Dr. Bell at his office on West Market Street in Hallam. He'll evaluate your symptoms and discuss which treatments would best suit your situation. Dr. Bell can restore restful sleep and get you feeling better day and night. York Dental Sleep Therapy. Call 316-1299 or visit yorksleep.com to learn more.
Pain doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
We're to the top of the 5th. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the WOIK Revs Radio Network.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOIK, York, Pennsylvania.
James Simmons' first pitch misses high and outside. Ball 1 to Kevin Aarons as we begin the top of the 5th inning with Lancaster up 2-0. Aarons was at the plate when Travis Witherspoon was caught stealing in the last inning, and he flies one out to center field for James L. Simmons, who makes the one-handed catch. Easy first out in the 5th. Well, we're about a quarter after 2 here in South Central PA, and the skies are still dry for the moment. Again, the prognostics throughout the week we were not going to be able to get this game in, and even if we were, they'd have a warning moat out in the outfield instead of a warning track. First pitch from James Simmons misses inside, ball 1 to Caleb Gindle, who has walked and bounced into a double play so far today. But here we are, an inning away from an official game, and still nothing yet. A little slow floater that catches outer black for called strike 1. Again, that storm is about halfway between Altoona and Harrisburg, heading our way right now as Gindle bounces one towards the right side. Long run for Dre, who's going to flip to James Simmons, who covers the bag. Rare 4-1 put out at first base, and that's out number 2. So we've probably got at least another hour until we really starting to need to worry whether or not we close the windows at our homes. I'm sure you did, and if you didn't, you're welcome. Now it's Josh Whitaker walking a single today, and he takes a big hack at a high fastball for strike 1. Barnstormers lead 2-0 here in the rubber game of this latest matchup in the War of the Roses presented by PNC Bank. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball that's on the outside corner, taken for called strike 2. Simmons looking for the 1-2-3 inning. It would be his first. James into the wind. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. The yo-yo at 66 miles an hour. Whitaker throws the bat away in disgust and a reluctant respect. James Simmons sends him down 3 in order for the first time today. Middle of the 5th, your score, Lancaster 2, York 0 on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at your Sure Save neighborhood markets. Use your gold card every time you shop and you automatically receive savings and rewards. And get incredible deals on the new Best Yet brand products at Saubel's Markets, Wetzel's Market, and also at Nell's Market Fresh Foods. Always a hit and always great savings.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio.
Back for the last of the 5th inning. Marte, Pounds, and Wilson up to face Mike Lee. Pitching a shutout. He's up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Will DeBoer, I'll welcome back Darrell Henry into the booth. How was lunch, Darrell?
Well, all that was left was a mushroom sandwich.
Oh, you poor, poor thing. Marte was up when Perez got picked off to end the bottom of the 4th inning, so now he'll get another look at Lee with a couple extra pitches in his memory. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1. That's that strike call that's gotten rung up most times this weekend, but not so much right now. Lee back into the windup. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Drilled. Deep left field. If it carries, it's over. It is. Turn and watch it go. Alfredo Marte with a solo home run. His 3rd of the season in just 9 games for the Revolution, and York has cut the deficit in half. It's now 2-1 Lancaster.
Well, he's been quite the addition. The Revs using him in the leadoff spot initially, and now with Repko back, they slot him in the middle, and he has shown pop without question. That was one of those pretty ones that's got backspin, and it looks like it's still going up when it clears. Just a low liner, had enough height, and he seems to love hitting here. That ends a 13-inning scoreless streak.
And how? Brian Pounds up next. He takes an inside fastball for strike one. Marte has his pop. 70 minor league home runs in 9 seasons. He hit 20 for Mobile in 2012. As Lee misses inside, it's ball one. Pounds 0 for 1 today with a fly out.
It's an Alfredo Parte.
It's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to have to jot that down and steal it from you. The 1-1 from Lee. Fastball, it's in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Revs now down 2-1. Lancaster with 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. York won moments ago on the Alfredo Marte homer. In case you forgot what that ringing in your ears was about, that was Cannonball Charlie waking up. And Pounds rips one out into left center field. That falls for a base hit. Revs starting to come alive here against Mike Lee, who is now in the 60s with his pitch count. He's at 64 right now. And the Revs put the tying man aboard and brought Josh Wilson to the plate. And with that Alfredo Marte home run, Greta Bankert is your winner on your Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care Home Run Contest. You will win a prize pack from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, the best place in York for your lawn and landscape care needs. Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care.
They care
about your lawn and landscape. It's a vocal exercise. Really, it's for the benefit of us more than anything else. Wilson showing bunt. He watches it break below the knees for ball one.
And they're on the line at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Online. We like that movie much more than people should. Wilson today a strikeout victim of the swinging variety back in the 3rd. He bats with Pounds on first and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. And Wilson takes inside again. It's ball 2. Halton over at third base was playing up on the lip of the grass, deked by the bunt shown by Wilson a couple of pitches ago.
That's not a bad idea. You play for the tie. You don't know when the weather might get here today. No outs in the inning.
Lee is ready. He sets the chest, standing straight as an arrow in the middle of the rubber. And time is asked for. Not sure by who, but Brian DeBrouwer grants it. Wind is blowing straight out to center field. If Wilson lifts one out into the jet stream, you can kiss it goodbye. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low and outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Josh Wilson.
Well, maybe, just maybe, it only took 1. You kind of felt like last night, had they just gotten 1 hit early in the game, maybe the whole complexion would have been different.
The pressure building up for 13 innings like a barrel of a gun. The 3-0 pitch. Wilson swinging, and he taps it softly foul, and it trickles into the third base dugout of Lancaster. Swinging 3-1, and Wilson, well, now he's 3-1. He was swinging 3-0.
And Lee, only his 2nd start this year, 4 innings in the last one, so maybe this is the time to get to him.
Butch Hobson obviously thinks so. Somebody is getting loose in the Lancaster bullpen. Looks like a lefty. 3-1 pitch. Wilson waves at it again and trickles it foul about the same spot. Wilson chasing after a couple of borderline pitches. Now he readjusts the gloves and his mind. Sweeps some dirt away in the batter's box. Grabs the helmet to make sure it's secure, taps the plate, now he's ready. Lee likewise, and a quick move over to first base. Pounds chased back. Brian playing it a bit safer with the bag after Dre was picked off to end the 4th inning. Lee gives a check to the runner again. 3-2 pitch. There goes Pounds, and this is a fly ball to left field. He just got under it. In front of the warning track is Whitaker. He makes the catch. Pounds goes back to first, and that is the first out of the inning.
He was so close to squaring that up. I think depth-wise on the barrel of the bat, I think he was right there. It sounded good, but just under it.
Now Butch Hobson taking the slow walk out to the mound. It will be a summit of the infielders and the catcher. Hands on his hips. He's going to talk to Lee. I don't think he's going to remove him right now because the arm in the bullpen has not been up long enough to be ready. Looks like Matt Reynolds is your bullpen pitcher, the big lefty out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So Butch has said his piece, and with one down and a man on first, and the Barnstormers nursing a 2-1 lead, James Simmons will step to the plate and try and put his name twin on the long side of the decision. His next home run will be his 100th in his professional career, and what a way it would be to get it right now. Simmons swinging strike out in the third inning. That was with a much fresher Mike Lee on the hill. Mike sets up. The first pitch lifted out into shallow center field, so shallow in fact that Zawadski comes out from second base to make the catch, 2 away. So now it's up to Jason Repko. Hustle double for him back in the third inning. Most people would have settled for a single that time. Jason taking extra bases, but going no further as he was stranded there. Now he bats with Pounds on first. 1 run home already in the inning. Trying to keep the line moving for the big bats. Tejeda, Guzman, and Nash waiting in tow. And a breaking ball missed, I guess, inside. 1-0. The batter's adjusting accordingly, taking those borderline inside pitches and having to reach out for outside ones. Here's the 1-0 pitch and a little swinging bunt over to the left side. Halton's got it. Sidearm throw to first in time. Easy play for him. And the side is retired, but Alfredo Marte brings the Revs closer with a line drive home run over the arch nemesis, his third of the season. For the Revs, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. End of the 5th of an official ball game for Peoples Bank Park. It's Lancaster 2, York 1 on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
And here we go, folks. She steps up to the box. This is a real pressure situation. 2 kids tugging at her blouse, a long line of customers, and only 30 minutes to get in, get a dozen Maple Donuts, and get to the party.
Oh, boy, look at the time.
One of Charlie Donuts All-Stars winds up, and here's the pitch.
Welcome to Maple Donuts. Can I help you?
Yes. No. I'm sorry. I'm not quite ready.
Oh, she steps out. The pressure may be too much, folks. No, wait. What's this? A meeting at the plate?
Okay, Mommy needs to order our Maple Donuts now. Can you two be good, please?
And she steps back up to the box.
All ready now?
I am.
She's swinging for the fences.
I'll have 4 glazed, 3 vanilla sprinkles, 3 chocolate icing, 2 jelly filled, and 1 chocolate peanut covered.
Oh, that was Major League. She read every stitch of that fastball and knocked it clean out of the park.
Enjoy your Maple Donuts.
Oh, we will. Okay, kids, let's go. Let's get these Maple Donuts to the party.
There you have it, folks. Maple Donuts, 58 varieties. Ready whenever you need to step up to the plate.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Well, I finally did it. I took my dad's advice and joined his credit union.
Which one?
PSECU. I'm eligible because my dad's a member, but I joined through work.
Really? I thought you had to work for the state.
A lot of people think that, but there are lots of ways to be eligible.
I'm not really thrilled with my bank and all their fees. I need to check them out.
Definitely. It's worth the switch.
PSCCU is the credit union for you. Find your way at psccu.com/join. This credit union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Well, according to weathermen from earlier in the week, we shouldn't have gotten to this point, but here we are, an official ball game. So take that, weather tracking science. It's the top of the 6th with the Barnstormers up 2-1. James Simmons on again to face Bell, Halton, and Cutler. And the first pitch coming to Josh Bell is lifted. Foul down the third base line. Pounds makes the catch right next to DJ Boston. 1 pitch and 1 out for Simmons to begin the top of the 6th.
It's like Michael Rocket's going in to play center.
All right, you are. Well, James Simmons, the hitter, taken out after an 0-for-2 appearance. Not the first time this season that Simmons has been taken out in the middle of a game he's been struggling in. Hopefully it's not an injury. The first pitch to Sean Halton is taken outside for ball 1. Speaking of injury, Halton providing a statistical injury to Alfredo Marte in the second inning with that diving stop at third base. And a little floater crosses the plate at 63 miles an hour for strike 1, like it's taking a pit stop at the Indy Motor Speedway. Simmons, the 1-1 pitch now, a fastball, and it misses outside for ball 1. Even with a fastball, it doesn't touch 90, Darryl. 86 miles an hour has to look awfully fast when you've been seeing a steady diet of 60s mixed in there.
Absolutely it does. Probably looks like low 90s to him.
Now the 2-1 pitch, fouled back to the backstop, and it's 2-2. That's where modern knuckleballers get a bunch of their juice there. You know, Stephen Wright, R.A. Dickey, they only throw low to mid-80s on their fastball, but when you've been throwing 60, 70 mile an hour float pitches, you can stun them with a fastball every now and then. Simmons the wind, and the 2-2 pitch plunks him in the right shoulder. Oh, James letting him off the hook. He had retired 4 in a row up until that point.
As far as the velocity, it's not even necessarily following the curveball with a fastball right away, but also the fact that the hitter knows you have that slow hook back there, so he's got to respect that pitch. I mean, normally hitters will hunt for the fastball and react to what they see, but a curveball is so fooling of hitters at times that it has to be in the back of their heads.
Paul Fletcher's come out to talk to James Simmons and Isaiah Tejeda, and it was a quick visit. Basically just, how are you? How's the wife? How's the kids? Where are we going after the game? They've all sorted out those details. And Simmons will be left to face Charlie Cutler with a man on first and 1 out, with Lancaster up 2-1 in the top of the 6th. From the stretch, the first pitch. Fly ball out to left field and playable. Repko chased back to the warning track, makes the catch a couple of feet in front of the sprint sign on the arch nemesis, and that's the second out of the inning.
Ball really carried a lot better than it looked off the bat. And I suppose as the potential weather approaches, if it does, we'll watch the flags and see how that impacts things.
Wind still blowing straight out here. The movement of the clouds in the sky is palpable. You can see it happening. First pitch is sidearm delivery to Casey Hobson, who fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. Just the 80th pitch for James Simmons, who in his last outing threw a season high for a Rev, 114 pitches. So he's just getting going right now. Strung together a pretty nice game. 2 runs on 7 hits in 5 2/3 so far, and he leaves a breaking ball outside, 1-1.
And they had Ron Scooters up for this part of the order with these lefties at the bottom, but I'm going to give Simmons a chance to get through it.
Short lead for Halton, a big lumbering man. And he's chased back to the bag, and that throw from Simmons nearly came in and whizzed by the ear of Telvin Nash.
Yeah, I wonder if he's accidentally throwing him a cutter or something over at first base.
And Don't waste your good pitches over at first base, James. Come on now. Another sidearm action, and Hobson drills one out into right field. That one's going to one-hop to the wall. Halton getting the green light from Boston. Throw coming in from Marte, and the red light over at third base. That one came in. Marte with a strong arm from the warning track holds Halton 90 feet from the plate. It's a 2-out double for K.C. Hobson, who is 2 for 3. His first 2 hits for his daddy's ball club. And with 2 outs and men on second and third, the left-handed hitting Lance Zawadski comes to the plate, and that'll be it for James Simmons. Mark Mason coming out. He'll go to Ron Scudders. He'll try and play the matchup right now. He feels this game potentially getting away from him. And Simmons is done after 5 2/3.
Well, nice job today. I mean, he was in much better control from the beginning of everything than that last start. And another tough day for the offense, so unfortunately cannot win it, and kind of got bled to death in that 4th inning with a bloop double, and then eventually a swinging bunt that scored a run, and then a bloop single. But overall, command-wise, much better. The curveball was, and the off-speed in general, we saw some change-ups from him as well. And all of that was much more consistent for him today. That's twice on as many hits from Hobson, by the way, that they've had to hold Halton at third base. So KC not with an RBI yet, and Scudders will try to pick up James and strand these two. And we had a chance to meet Ron's mom earlier today.
She was here.
Here from Brazil, and I guess his dad is tuned in on Revs TV, so we say hi to him. But his mom, we worked on the pronunciation of his last name with her.
And I still can't get it because I can't roll my R's. Never been able to. That's why I didn't take Spanish.
But we learned a Portuguese saying or two, which I already forget. But
oh, well, maybe you'll get some Rosetta Stone discount.
Maybe.
Scudder's warming up. This is his 15th appearance of the season. He has really found his rhythm over the last month of the year. 1-0, 3.64 ERA. He's brought that all the way down into the mid-3s. Coming off a scoreless inning against the Barnstormers on Friday night. That game the Revs won 5-2. And while he warms up, we'll take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by York Mitsubishi. Game we're tuned into, top of the third from Long Island, Ducks and Sugarland tied 1 apiece. Revs missed a chance to go 4 games clear of the Skeeters yesterday as the Ducks ended up beating the Skeeters. Bottom of the 5th from Somerset, Patriots down 2-1 to Bridgeport. Those 2 teams will play later on in the day as well. And Southern Maryland and New Britain still in a rain delay. So Scudders has finished his warm-up tosses, inherits a touch of trouble from James Simmons. Halton on third, Hobson on second, with 2 down here in the top of the 6th, trying to keep the Revs within a run. It's 2-1 Barnstormers. So the 9th man in the order, the lefty hitting second baseman, Lance Zawadski. 1 for 2 with an RBI ground out today, and Scudder's first pitch skips the dirt. Nice block to Hayda, 1-0. Zawadski trying to find his rhythm again after that oblique injury. Trying to become a threat at the plate, and the heavens know that the Barnstormers need men to hit in scoring position with 2 outs especially. The 1-0. Fastball. Touch outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Middle infielders playing deep. Corner infielders pretty deep as well. Straight up. And time asked for. Wind has changed directions, blowing out to left field now. Zawadski, if he plays to pull, will hit a wall of air. Scudders, deep breath, kick, 2-0 pitch, swung on, missed for strike 1. Pumped a fastball right down the heart for 88 miles an hour. And it's 2-1.
Zawadzki did not get cheated. Try to sit back leg, and clobber that one somewhere.
Overcompensating for the wind. Ronnie coming back now with the 2-1 pitch. And a fastball taken on the inside corner that time for strike two. Zawadzki with a roll of the eyes. There's a pitch they haven't been calling all weekend. Coming at a crucial time now. Deuce is extra wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. 2-1 Lancaster lead in the top of the 6th. Revs trying to keep it within a single digit. Scudders flexes the arms, brings the mitt back to the chest. He's ready. The wind and the 2-2. In the dirt, ball 3. Tried to get him fishing on a slider to no avail. The right-handed Travis Witherspoon is on deck here.
Tejeda being a brick wall behind the plate here with a runner at third. That's a couple of blocks in the dirt he's made.
The right-hander is warming in the pen for the Revs. I assume if Scudders is not able to get this man, he's going to try and make it a moot point. Payoff pitch coming. Ronnie Scudders with a rock and the roll. A little tapper, easy pickings for the tall Scudders. The flip to first in time, side retired. Ron Scudders comes on and puts out the fire. The comebacker for Zawadzki strands a couple of men aboard. For the Barnstormers, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left in scoring position. Middle of the 6th, your score, Lancaster 2, York 1 on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
Did you send that email?
No, the server's down.
Again? That's the 3rd time this week. Did you call support?
Sure, great hold music for the last hour.
There's got to be a better way.
There is. Let SoCo Business Solutions maintain your current IT environment, evaluate your current systems, or provide support that's local and responsive. Contact SoCo at 717-505-8080 and let us be your IT solutions provider. That's 717-505-8080 or online at SoCoBusinessSolutions.com.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time, to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
Current school not meeting your child's unique needs? Check out family-centered public cyberschooling from Commonwealth Charter Academy. CCA students attend virtual classes led by Pennsylvania certified teachers, and enrollment is open year-round with no waiting list. For open house dates in your area, visit ccaeducate.me or call toll-free 1-844-590-2864. That's 1-844-590-2864.
On air, online, and on your smartphone. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
We had the last of the 6th. Revs keeping it at 2-1. Mike Lee out now. Matt Reynolds first pitch to Isaiah Tejeda. Rides inside for ball 1. This pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts.
And he had his hands up, like, where was that? Welcome to the game. His first pitch.
Reynolds making his 2nd appearance of the series as he jams Tejeda, who fouls one back out of play towards about the first row near the first base dugout. That's going home with a fan from Winterstown. Reynolds, the 31-year-old southpaw, spent parts of the last, or of 5 of the last 6 seasons in the bigs as Tejeda fouls one back to the screen again. It's 1-2. Primarily with the Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. This season, this is his 18th appearance. He's 1-0 with a 2.29 ERA. Revs touched him for a run on Friday night. I believe that was either Marte or Simmons who hit the home run off him. Now a 1-2. Tejeda reaches out and grounds one slowly over towards the third base coach's box. Polo's got it. And the count remains at 1-2. Reynolds trying to save it from Mike Lee, who ran out of gas after 5 innings of 1 run, 4 hit balls, 73 pitches for the converted reliever. And Tejeda taking high. The appeal over to first. He did not go around. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. No walks, a hit batsman, and 3 strikeouts for Mike Lee. And Tejeda fouls one back out of play over the first base dugout. Count stays at 2-2. Reynolds starting to work in a rhythm here. Tejeda spoils the rhythm. We're used to that.
Yeah, he likes to back away and get away with as much as he can against the pace of play initiatives.
Reynolds, the kick and the 2-2 pitch. And a line drive down the left field line, but foul. Hooks a couple of feet to the left. And Tejeda will stand in and do it again. This will be the 8th pitch of the showdown between Matt Reynolds and Isaiah Tejeda. A couple of doubles for Zay yesterday. One of them off the very top of the arch nemesis. Might have even been swatted down by the part of the newspaper that hangs over the yellow line. 2-2. This one's cracked into left field. This one's heading towards the wall. It hits about 3/4 of the way up the arch nemesis. Tejeda will have to stop at first base. Dives back in with a single. Gets the uniform dirty. A leadoff base hit for Isaiah Tejeda. Wins the 8-pitch showdown and sets the table now for the meat of the order. The big boppers coming up. Joel Guzman with 7 homers. That's 3rd in the league. Telvin Nash, the league leader, at 11 behind him. And Andres Perez with 5 is in the hole. And against a left-handed arm of Matt Reynolds, I know you got to work who you got to work, but why would you ever throw a lefty willingly against these Revs hitters in this ballpark? As Guzman takes outside for ball 1. Just when they're starting to get hot. Goose hit by a pitch and flew out in his return to action. And he takes a fastball outside. It is 2 balls and no strikes. Polite Sunday crowd starting to get more into it, sensing a Rev rally. Barnstormers up 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the 2-0 pitch and a pop-up foul over our heads and back towards the concourse. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joel Guzman, they missed his presence at the 3rd spot in the order over the last 2 days. A man who just loves hitting in this ballpark. And he cracks one into left center field, but playable for Witherspoon, who traces to his right in front of the White Rose Credit Union sign in left center to make the catch. 1 away. Guzman. Now he's still hitting in the 400s at home. Couldn't convert that time, though. Now he'll leave it up to Telvin Nash. Nash, 2 fly balls to right field. Reynolds' first pitch. Nice movement on a breaking ball at 79. It crosses at the knees for strike 1. I saw the flowing locks of Pete Andrelzik standing up in the pen for Lancaster. 1-0. Fouled back to the screen. 0-2. Barnstormers, 2 runs on 8 hits and no errors. York, 1 run on 5 hits and no errors. Trying to come back and win the rubber match of this portion of the War of the Roses, presented by PNC Bank. Reynolds 0-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Got him with a slider. Nash some self-talk as he strolls back to the dugout. And that's the 2nd out of the inning.
I think the foul on the previous pitch he just missed, that was his best one of the at-bat. And when you're in a bit of a struggle, that's what happens. You feel like you don't get many to hit, and when you do, you just miss them.
Andres Perez up now, extended his hitting streak to 10 with a single in the 4th, but was picked off. Outfield playing way back right now. Witherspoon near the warning track, shading to his right. And the first pitch is a fastball right down George Street, 0-1. For Perez, a big spotlight moment. Man on first, 2 outs, just like the Stage Deli has a spotlight. Outstanding soup, salads, and sandwiches. Daily Specials and Catering on their Facebook page. 0-1, tied him up inside, and foul tips the pitch into the mid of Cutler for strike 2. That Facebook page is Stage Deli on George. The Physical Deli is on North George Street, right next to the Strand Capitol Theater. Short lead for Tejeda. Reynolds gives him one look. Here's the kick in the 0-2. Fouled off. And it bounces over the backstop and into the first row of seats next to the third base dugout. Reynolds moving with deliberate pace. Like he's trying to make up all the hours we have lost this weekend himself. He sets up on the first base side of the rubber, the extreme side. There goes Tejeda. The 0-2 pitch is flied into right center field, right where Witherspoon was. He makes the catch, side retired. Loud leadoff single for Tejeda goes nowhere. For the Revs, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Darrell Henry will take you home here at the end of the 6th. Your score, Lancaster up 2-1 here on the WOIK Revs Radio Network.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
But last Thursday and Friday, we're looking at Golden State differently than we are today. The end was a good result. But then I wonder, did you want them to win? I don't know nationally if we look at them the way we did last year. An embraceable story, still love Steph Curry, the way they play, that style. Were you looking at Oklahoma City and saying, hey, it'd be nice to get them into the finals again? Maybe, Durant, maybe he and Westbrook get a title. I don't know if you were rooting for or against, but I'm still fascinated by watching Golden State. I love the style, and that style is not for everyone. Although, I'm curious what the record for threes attempted and made in the NBA Finals for 2 teams, because we're going to break it this year. Golden State and Cleveland.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Break out some ID. That's just good radio.
Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Ross Brothers Barbecue is serving up the hits every Saturday night this season at Peoples Bank Park. Stop by Arch Street Eats on the third base corner and load up on delicious, fresh-made local barbecue. All of Ross' sauces and sides are made from scratch daily. All meats are smoked for an authentic barbecue done right. Ross Brothers also offers drive-thru, dine-in, and carry-out from the restaurant at 3096 Carlisle Road in Dover, as well as delivery and full-service catering. Ross Brothers can cater any sized event from fundraisers to graduation parties to weddings. Ross Brothers Barbecue every Saturday night at Peoples Bank Park.
The radio home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Headed to the 7th inning, and the Revs will try to do it late in the game today. Still trailing 2-1. Darrell Henry alongside Will DeBoer. And it'll be Ricardo Gomez here in the 7th inning. Pitching change is brought to you by Maple Donuts. Revs were without Gomez for one of those games at Bridgeport earlier in the week, battling a flu bug, but he got back on the mound on Friday night. Wasn't feeling 100% yet, but you wouldn't have been able to tell. He had a scoreless 7th with a couple of Ks. And that was against the top of their order, and that's exactly who he'll be facing here today. Travis Witherspoon to lead off. He's 1 for 3. A bloop RBI hit, and Gomez's first pitch is fouled back into the net. James Simmons went all out in the top of the 4th, did all he could, diving to get to that bloop, and he took a divot out in center on the dive, and when he hit the ground, the ball flew out of his glove. Pitch is a slider down and in. Lancaster, both of their runs in the 4th. The Revs got on the board on Marte's homer in the 5th. On the stretch, and the 1-1 slider hit in the air in center. Michael Rocket measuring it as he drifts back, and he's got room. Over toward left center slightly. There's one away. Gomez in his 16th outing, no record, sporting a 1.23 ERA.
Next to Mike DeMark, he's been the best reliever for the Revs this season.
Revs a pretty full deck today. Harris is still inactive, but The only short inning reliever used last night was Click. DePaula is ready again. Here's Kevin Ahrens, who takes a slider for a strike. Ahrens 1 for 3 today, extending his hitting streak to 8. And the skies get a little brighter at the moment as Gomez deals, and a slider rolled on the ground to third. Pounds up cleanly. He'll take his time and make the throw across. And 2 up, 2 down for Gomez here in the 7th.
Well, Halton's been breaking out the fireworks over at third base today. Brian Pounds, though, just a routine play. One of the best defensive third basemen in this Atlantic League, and on a play like that, that's basically, that moves in slow motion for him, even if it was a hard ground ball.
Steady as always. Here's Caleb Gindel, and Gomez the pitch, and a slow tapper. This will go foul. Off to the right and slightly back behind home plate. Gindel 0 for 2. Walked in the first, hit into a 1-6-3 double play in the third, and then grounded out to second base in the 5th. Gomez the stretch, he fires, and a slider grounded and knocked down by Nash. He finds it, picks up, flips to Gomez, covering, inning over. They had Gindel played to pull, and Nash was able to reach it, cutting it off toward the hole. He knocked it down, had to find it behind him, and was able to do so and flip to Gomez. 1-2-3-7. Stretch time here at Peoples Bank Park. Revs trail 2-1.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
I understand that there are kids who are involved. Let's put the football mess aside and try and figure out what the hell happened. And if that means conduct a coaching search. We're cleaning house. This is horrible. This house is clean. Everybody, we're opening a window. Until I see anything different, reading this report, it seems like there's something that stinks to absolute high heaven.
Is this the button that plays?
The Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hey, sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. On your morning run? Perfect. Strapped to a wayward dentist chair? It works better than Novocaine. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
We will see Pete Andrelzik for the 3rd time in this series. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Alfredo Marte leading off the home 7th, and he swings and nubs a foul, third base side. Revs trail 2-1.
We've seen him so often, Daryl actually know how to spell Andrelzik.
Yeah. A little blue overhead still. Sun fighting its way through slightly. Marte, the only run for the Revs, a home run in the 5th inning. Pitch is a called strike, down in the zone. Andrelzik 2-0 with a 1.26 ERA in 15 games. The righty winds and deals, and a slider bites away. The Lancaster bullpen, a 1.30 ERA their last 9 games. Andrelzik, a 12-game scoreless streak, 11 2/3. He deals, and a swing and a chop foul down to Polo at third base. Reynolds a scoreless 6th, despite giving up the leadoff wall ball hit. And now Andrelzik in the 7th inning. 2 scoreless outings in this series. He deals and try to check. A slider away, and the plate ump rings up Marte. Strikeout in the go-around for out number 1. Revs down to their final 8 outs today, down by 1 run. And they lost 3 out of 4 in Lancaster. This is the rubber match of the first meeting in York. And here's Brian Pounds, who's 1 for 2. First pitch, a swing and a miss as Andrelzik stays slider happy to the righties. Like he may even drop down slightly. Revs being out hit 8-5. Pitch to Pounds is a strike called. Down and away. Fans not happy with that one. Andrelzik on top, 0-2. They have not been happy since the first inning today. Pitch to Pounds is down and outside, another slider. Now the sun brightly shining. There's the wind, the pitch, and that's way outside. That Pounds works it to 2-2. Down a run here in the 7th inning. Andrelzik quickly delivers, and that's low. Works it to a full count. Josh Wilson will follow him. Andrelzik, the Lancaster native, went to Manheim Township before being drafted by the Marlins. Pitch is fouled off over the first base side. He now works for their front office during the offseason, living in his hometown. Here's the wind, another 3-2, and a liner center field, and it's going to be right at Witherspoon. Pounds couldn't have hit it any harder, right on a line and dead down the middle of the field, but it flies to Witherspoon. Would have loved just a little top spin there. Teammates give him 5 all the way down the dugout line. He put an excellent swing on it. 2 down, here's Josh Wilson, who's 0 for 2. He just missed in the 5th inning, flying out in front of the wall and left. First pitch is up high. Outfield plays Wilson to pull, and fairly deep. The 1-0, and that's over for a strike. Andrelzik, a Marlins draft pick. Wilson originally was also, and that's who he first broke into the majors with. Pitch to him is lined to shallow left, a bloop line, and it's going to drop off the end of the bat, but loops it in front of Josh Whitaker, and the Revs with a 2-out base hit. It's their 6th hit of the day. And Michael Rocket will have his first plate appearance of the afternoon. They were signaling up here like he just entered a pinch hit. I'm glad that they're on top of things down there. Seeing as he came in the 6th inning to play center field.
That's not Big Pen, is it?
Where?
I don't know. I hear this disembodied voice. It's been really getting on the umpire in the last inning.
Maybe. Pitch to Rocket is outside. Big Pen is here today. You don't mean downtown, do you?
No, that would be wrong. He's a mascot. He has no voice.
I'm just kidding. Now throw to first. Wilson dives back. I'm needlessly agitating Big Pen if he's listening. Rockets swinging the bat pretty well lately. First plate appearance today. He's hitting a 244 overall. Stretch, and Andrelzik steps off. Somebody in the crowd yelling, he's gone, like he had started running.
Isn't the first thing they teach you in baseball school not to pay attention to what the fans are saying?
1-0 pitch. There's a fastball for a strike down in the zone. And the fans do not care for that one. down and in on Rocket.
They haven't cared for much today.
Nope, they've been pretty much rubbed the wrong way since the first inning as Andrelzik throws one over. Rocket with the team-colored spikes. Now, those are not the ones his daughter painted. He must have painted these himself. Runner does go, and Rocket bunts for a hit try, but it's going to be foul. Angled a bit much toward third. A ball and 2 strikes as he'll make his way back. Scott Gracie up for Lancaster now. We saw him last night. And their bullpen is a strength. It generally is for most contending teams. As the sun brightens again, Rocket will try to come through behind in the count. The outfield very deep on Rocket, too. Here's the stretch, and Drelzik a step off, eyeing up Wilson, who's over at first. Wilson all caked up with dirt now. Takes his lead. And the 1-2, a slider, and a strike 3 called. Rocket flips the bat up in disbelief. He was backing away of a pitch that was in off the plate, and he's called out. And that's a guy, he watches the game closely when he's not in the game, and he's seen what's been going on today. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. We go to the 8th. Revs still trailed 2-1.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community
and hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Does your wealth advisor know how you take your coffee? At Smith, Mayer & Little Wealth Advisory Group, we genuinely get to know our clients, from their interests, goals, and dreams, right down to how they like their coffee. By understanding our clients on a personal level, we help them make wise financial decisions. In us, you will find a trusted confidant dedicated to your financial success. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. Get to know us over a cup of coffee or visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series continues on Friday, June 17th with a Bruce Arians Gnome giveaway. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Head to the 8th, and the good news becomes official as Julio DePaula appears in his first game since leaving Wednesday night. A little tightness in back of his right shoulder, but we were concerned until we found out more the next day and found out the good news. He wouldn't be out long, and here he is back in just a few days later. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts, trailing 2-1 the Revs are as we start the 8th. Middle third of the order, beginning with Josh Whitaker, and DePaula misses high on the first one. Mays sensed that something was wrong the other night. It looked like he was short-arming a little bit. And the 1-0, there's a breaking ball. That's over for a strike. And it wasn't as crisp as normal. And he was erratic, which was very abnormal. Pacheco came in, got it done. The 1-1, and a swing and a bounce foul over to the on-deck hitter, Bell. But it became a scary 9th inning on a night where they rested DeMarc. And DePaula now back in his normal 8th inning role today, even though the team trails. And he's ready. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, skied to shallow right. Nash heading out. Marte hustling in. And Marte will call and catch it. And there's one away. We'll pause for station identification. This is Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
One down here in the 8th. Revs on the short end of a 2-1 score. Josh Bell will stand in. He is 0 for 3 on the day. And DePaula with the pitch, a swing and a fly ball, shallow right. Marte coming in, and he's got it. Bell may have broken his bat. Pretty sure he did, and Marte a slow start because he saw the swing, but it really didn't go anywhere, and he was able to make up the ground in shallow right. Here's Sean Halton.
Well, DePaula's now at 100 2/3 innings for the Revs, 1 out away from qualifying for franchise marks with 101 innings, and once he gets this out, if he gets through unscathed,
pitch outside on Halton to start him.
He's going to find himself in the top 5 all-time in ERA. Came in sitting at a career ERA of 3.06.
He deals, and a fly ball to center. That should put him right there. Rocket over toward right center. He's got it, and DePaula is in the record book on the franchise ERA board in the top 5. 3 flyouts in the 8th, and good to get him back in there. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Revs still trailed 2-1.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time, to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
Struggling to find quality IT help for your business? Tired of being sold solutions from companies helping their bottom line more than yours? Sick of your calls being answered overseas? SoCo Business Solutions is your answer to maintain your current environment, redesign your infrastructure, provide local responsive support, and keep your data safe. Contact SoCo at 717-505-8080 and let us be your IT solutions provider. That's 717-505-8080 or online at SoCoBusinessSolutions.com.
The Revolution plays here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hi, this is Andres Perez, and you're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Two to 1, Lancaster in front, and as we go to the bottom of the 8th, Scott Gracie comes on. We see him again. Revs bullpen a nice job so far. Lancaster has matched them. Gracie a scoreless 8th last night. And the top of the order to face him, needing a run to tie. Jason Repko will start things off. Gracie 2-0 in 18 games. 1 run allowed in 16 innings, an 0.56 ERA, and he's got a 7-outing scoreless streak going. Repko 1 for 3 with a double. And Gracie with the pitch, a curveball that was slow and high. It looked like it slipped. Halton is in at third, trying to take away the idea of a bunt. And Gracie, who goes from the stretch, delivers. And a line drive base hit to left. Repko jumps on the first strike that he sees. He's got a 2-hit day, and the tying run's on immediately. Isaiah Tejeda to follow here. Revs with their 7th hit. Halton peering in at his dugout for defensive instructions, and they're going to tell him to back up. Well, we'll see what the Revs put on. You are more apt to play for a tie at home. Tejeda's such a hot hitter, though. 1 for 3. And Gracie the stretch. First pitch, he's not showing any bunt, and it misses down low. And a liner off, almost off the Turkey Hill sign his last time up for a wall ball single. Now Gracie ready and steps off, eyeing up Repko at first. It's 2 for 3 in steals this year, just back from that hamstring injury. Now Gracie to the set position, and he'll turn and toss one over. Repko back standing up. Gracie last year with Lancaster 5-0 with a sub-2 ERA. So far this year, 2-0 with a sub-1 earned run average. Another former Blue Jay farmhand. The 1-0, and a swing and a pop fly, shallow center. Witherspoon will come in, and he's under it and squeezes for out number 1. That was a routine play, but defense is a strength of Lancaster as well. The fewest errors in the league, and we've seen them make a couple of great plays today. Halton ball back in the 2nd inning, the best of the year perhaps.
Revs not too shabby in the field either. Just 1 error between the 3 games thus far for the last place fielding team in the Atlantic League. You thought that might have been the difference between a couple of close games here, but the Revs have really played pretty spotless defense.
Here's Joel. A half swing, he was fooled. Went around on the first pitch, which would have been a ball high. Guzman today, first game back, 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Revs trail 2-1 here in the last of the 8th. And Gracie a step off, holds the ball up as he looks over at Repko at first. Wind still, breezing out, straight out. Now the 0-1. And a slider found the plate according to DeBrouwer. Guzman glares back at him, and it's 0-2.
Well, this wall of storms is just on the outskirts of Harrisburg. We've probably got another half hour or so.
That's comforting. Now throw to first, Repko back standing. So let's score a couple and get 3 outs.
One swing is all it takes right now.
Repko does have the attention of Gracie as he leads again. Here's the 0-2. And a swing and a ground ball, base hit to right. Repko will round second, heading to third. Gindel the throw cut off, and they're at the corners. Joel Guzman with Repko being held. He finds the opening on the opposite side of the infield on an 0-2 pitch. And the Revs with first and third and 1 out. Potentially a huge hit. And we'll see what they can do with it. Telvin Nash here. What a time it would be for him to break out. And they're going to pinch run for Guzman. Charlie Thurber at first, representing a go-ahead run. And here comes Butch. And nobody throwing, so this will just be a meeting of the minds.
Stalling for time, hoping that those storm clouds can get here a touch faster.
On our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, Sugarland was trailing earlier. Revs come in with a 3-game lead over both Lancaster and Sugar Land. I'll get you an update here. It is a 4-1 Long Island lead in the bottom of the 5th over the Skeeters. Bridgeport up 2-1 at Somerset in the 7th. Southern Maryland and New Britain were postponed up in Connecticut. After the visit, here's Nash. First and third, one out. And the first pitch swung on, line foul. That thing smoked, but foul into the picnic area off the pavilion roof. Revs trail 2-1. They've been down since Lancaster scored 2 in the 4th. The only run, a Marte homer in the 5th.
Nash has been struggling, would really like to make it all up right here. He doesn't need everything. He just needs to find the open greenery.
Here's the stretch from Gracie. And the 0-1 just inside. Nash today, 2 flyouts and a K. A flyout, if it's deep enough, would be great. Base hit would be even better. Upgo at third, Thurber being held at first. Here's the stretch. And the 1-1 swung on. He fouls it against the screen. 1-2. Gracie's tough, obviously. Only 1 run in 16-plus innings. And he's got good stuff. Good breaking ball. That one had some late tail. Tough to really square one up on this guy. He's got his sign, the stretch, and steps off. He's been doing a lot of that. Repko, the tying run at third. Thurber, the go-ahead run at first. Now Gracie ready. The 1-2. And a strike 3 called, and Nash hollers back at Brian DeBrouwer, and he might be in trouble here. DeBrouwer takes off the mask, and Nash cannot believe it. Here comes Mace trying to protect his first baseman. DeBrouwer shows him the dugout direction.
I think he can find it himself, Chief.
Yeah, right? As if he needs that right now. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Looking at the replay, it's below the knees where it crossed. So frustrated they are right now. It'll be Andres Perez with 2 down in the inning. Dre 1 for 3 today. Getting a little darker here. Revs trail 2-1. And here's the stretch. Repko running in from third, trying to distract. Pitch to Dre is fouled against the net. Had a good cut. He has extended the hitting streak to 10 with a 4th inning knock. An 8th inning knock would make a lot of folks happy here right now. Now Gracie into his stretch. Here's the 0-1 and a foul out of play, first base side. Again, Gracie, some late movement. It's just tough to really barrel one on him. Good cutter down and away there. It looks like almost everything he throws has some sort of movement. 0-2 with 2 outs. Revs had first and third with 1 out. Gracie got a K. Now he's gotten ahead of Dre. And here's the righty's stretch. And the 0-2. A called third strike. And no argument from Perez. Looked like he was anticipating something else and could not pull the trigger. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. Gracie works out of it with a pair of Ks, and we go to the 9th. Revs still trail 2-1.
Kids today, With Facebook, texting, TV, and video games, seems like fresh air and sunshine are things of the past. Remember playing catch, climbing trees, wholesome backyard fun? Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care remembers, give them lush grass, healthy trees, the good old outdoors. American is baseball and apple pie. Kids have every reason to stay inside. Don't let your lawn be one of them. Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. World-class care right in your backyard. 717-292-9994.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called People's Bank Park. People's Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at People's Bank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
What if I told you your family of 4 could have an all-inclusive outing for only $55? The York Revolution are telling you that right now. The Family Fun Pack includes 4 flexible ticket vouchers to be used whenever you'd like, 4 food vouchers for hot dogs, chips, and drinks, 2 playground wristbands, and a parking pass. Again, $55. Have more than 4 in your family? Additional tickets and food vouchers are only $10. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
Your home for Revolution Baseball. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Head of the 9th, Revs still trail 2-1. It'll be Mariel Checo coming on. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Interesting week for him. He got that save on Wednesday when DePaula went out, and then the Revs used him in the 8th on Friday to get a big couple of outs with DePaula out. Charlie Cutler to lead off the 9th, and the first pitch is ripped foul down the first base side. 2-1 it remains. And the Revs will try to do it in the bottom of the 9th against Corey Burns, who they've not seen yet in this series. And we'll have Marte, Pounds, and Wilson do when that time of day comes around. Here's the wind and the 0-1, and it's taken down low. The wind picking up a bit, straight out.
Changing direction slightly, it's moving more to right field than it is to straight away or left.
Checo, a couple of shake-offs, and Cutler asks for time. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Cutler, Hobson, and Zawadzki, 7, 8, 9. Well, the 1-1, and a swing and a pop-up into the gray sky. Foul. Pounds will give it a look, and it only landed a row or 2 in on the third base side with that wind holding it up. But it does find the seats, 1-2. Checo 2-0 with a 1.72 ERA in 13 games, including 1 start. Save Wednesday night, the 5th of his career, the other 4 back at the Gulf Coast League Yankees in 2011. Checo kicks and fires and really jammed him, but Cutler thumbs it foul down the first base side. And Nash going for it, had a little juggle and almost kicked it toward the stands like Paul O'Neill did back in the day. Isn't he the one that kicked it back into the infield?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Revs have tomorrow off and then back home Tuesday night, 3 against Long Island. It's a Taco Tuesday on Tuesday night, our first of the year.
All right. What took so long?
Saw the team had tacos last night after the game. That was fun. Checo deals, and a bouncer foul, first base side. I myself had a mushroom sandwich today.
You're just fishing for sympathy right here, aren't you?
A little bit. It had alfalfa on it and other less than desirable.
Alfalfa. It had alfalfa on it, Darryl.
cucumbers. I guess it was healthy. It's the pitch and a shot toward the middle and a base hit. Cutler did not hit that hard, but they were playing him to pull. And over toward right center it goes as he just punches it up the gut, a leadoff hit. And Casey Hobson to the plate. Made an out his first time up. Hobson was 0 for 6 with Lancaster, but in the 4th inning singled and scored, and then in the 6th inning he doubled. Revs down 2-1 in the 9th. And Checo with the pitch and a swing and a fly ball, shallow right center. They holler in, and Rocket will make up the ground, sprinting in. They were deep with a runner on base, and Rocket thought it was hit better than it was initially. He took a half second to get the read and then came jetting in, and with his speed able to arrive in shallow right center, one away. Have they signaled him into the game yet?
I don't know. He may still just be an apparition out there in center field.
Amazing. Here's Lance Zawadski with 1 on and 1 out. Zawadski 1 for 3 with an RBI ground out. And runner dancing from first, and he'll go. Pitches a strike, and Tejeda's throw didn't have a chance. Over towards short as well, but Charlie Cutler, the catcher, was dancing, trying to time Checo, and he almost took off before Checo even came home.
Well, that's a catcher's stolen base right there. You know your pitcher well enough to know his movements. You know the catcher's arm well enough, and even if Tejeda's throw is right on the money, Cutler's already there.
It is his 4th steal.
Not bad.
Here's the 0-1 to Zawadski, and a fastball missed in tight. Zawadski 1 for 3.
Oh, they're saying that's 1 and 1.
Yeah, they put a ball on the board, but it should have been strike one.
Okay.
Zawadski drove in one of their runs back in the 4th, their first one, on a swinging bunt. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing. It's a called strike. Over along the outside edge, 1-2.
That guy just say the Revolution will be televised? When do we get a TV deal?
That's what it sounded like from here. Well, we have Revs TV.
Oh, we do. Yeah.
A fine option to follow
Absolutely.
The broadcast. Checo ready, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on the slider, and your K-man has struck out. 2 down here in the top of the 9th. Checo trying to prevent an insurance run from coming home.
And he may have to do it quick. The air is getting a bit chillier right now.
There's Travis Witherspoon at the top of the order. And Checo delivers, and a line drive base hit. And on it quickly, and left is Repko, and he overran it. And they're sending Cutler, and he'll score ahead of the throw. It's 3-1. And DJ Boston was, I think, in between on sending him or not. I think they were going to hold him and then put on a quick send when Repko juggled. Kind of a low liner, a sharp grounder almost. And Witherspoon, they are going to give him the RBI, his second of the day. No error. They said that Cutler never slowed down. Now a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 9th. And here's Kevin Aarons, who's 1 for 4. Checo with the pitch, and that's outside. Now the Revs' comeback task, a run more difficult. In danger of dropping the final 2 here this weekend after winning the first. And Checo steps off and throws over after doing so. Back standing is Witherspoon, who's 5 for 7 in steals. Actually 5 for 8. He was caught on a pitch out earlier today. Checo ready. And he'll step off and look the runner back. Now ready again. Here's the 1-0. And a slider fouled off the top of the net. Lancaster, their first run since the 2-run fourth. Now 3 runs on 10 hits. York with 1 run on 8 hits. Now Checo a nod yes. And again, he'll step off and look the runner back. Lancaster as a team is second in the league in steals with 47. Actually 48 now. The 1-1 and a swing and a miss. Good slider. Only Somerset has more steals, 64. They have 17 more.
They're the team this year.
That was York 2 years ago. Here's the stretch. And Checo delivers. And a slider driven to right field. Back on it is Marte, and he's got it lined up. Makes the catch in deep right. That one flattened out a bit, and Aaron's got a good piece, but Marte back to make the catch. 1 run does score on 2 hits. 1 runner left. Revs now need 2 as we go to the bottom of the 9th, trailing 3-1.
Tennis used to be a very polite game. Today, tennis
Ace.
raises a racket.
Flying feet.
The style, the play, and the players are intense, athletic, and hard-charging. Flying Feet Sports Shoes welcomes the evolution of tennis and its battling players with a full line of specialty tennis shoes worthy of the new game. These aren't stand-around, look-pretty shoes. These are co-conspirators for the court. Shoes that will endure opponent after opponent, match after match. Shoes that move when and how you move and stop at your command. Shoes that fit and feel good so your feet are ready and able to play that next set. Flying Feet's team includes Prince, Wilson, and New Balance in widths that fit, and the Flying Feet staff is always on the sidelines to help you with your selection. Tennis, it's a new game. Be prepared to play it well.
Flying feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes, just off exit 18 of I-83, right behind Domino's in York.
Hey Revs fans, want to get in the game? You can throw out an honorary first pitch this season by bringing a group to People's Bank Park. Select groups who reserve tickets in the month of May will receive a first pitch courtesy of Bell Socialization Services with support from Adhesives Research. For information, call Reed Gunderson at 717-801-4498. Celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, Bell provides housing supports and living skills training to more than 1,400 people every year here in South Central PA through its mental health, intellectual disability, and homeless service programs. Bell Socialization Services, empowering lives every day.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Last chance for the Revs today. Alfredo Marte leads off. Corey Burns twists and misses outside. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Lancaster's closer going for his 9th save. And he does a lot of that twisting action, very deceptive. 1 save against York. Pitch to Marte is fouled back. He's got 25 strikeouts and only 4 walks in 17 2/3 innings. 0-1 with a 3.06 ERA, 8 saves. Marte, the only run provided for York today, a 5th inning homer, 1 for 3. And the pitch, a called strike. Some late sink on that, 1-2.
Well, Burns doesn't give up the walk, but he does give up the hit. 19 base hits in just under 18 innings of work.
Marte pounds Wilson here, down 2. Now Burns with the twist, the pitch, it's down low, breaks out of the zone. 2-2 on Marte. He varies how much he turns his back to the hitter. 3-1 our score. Lancaster an insurance run in the top half. Here's the 2-2. And a swing and a bouncing ball to short. Stepping up on it is Aarons. He'll throw to first for out number 1. Revs and Barnstormers will meet one more time in the first half in early July. It'll be a 3-game series here at home the first 3 days of July, a weekend right before the 4th. And that'll actually bring us to the close of the first half. Who knows, might determine it. Here's Brian Pounds, who's 1 for 3. And Burns twists, steals, and missed high. Revs just 1 run in 17 in the 3rd innings the last 2 nights, or night and day. 1-0 to Pounds, and a foul back off the screen. They're getting ready for the kids run the bases, which might be a short group of participants today with the storm approaching.
May turn into a slip and slide.
They are going to go through with it. Now the 1-1, and that misses down in the dirt. I see some of them peering right out over Brian Pound's face on the LED board in right center as they get in.
Weird-looking hair extensions.
Get in position for their post-game trot. And Burns the 2-1, and a swing and a miss. Looks like a splitter that he's throwing, and that evens things up. Two balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty with 1 out here in the 9th. Burns the 2-2, and it plops in for strike 3 called. And Pounds left frozen there. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. On our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, Sugarland is now down 6-1 at Long Island in the 7th, but a win from Lancaster, they will be within 2 of York. And they may move into sole possession of 2nd if Sugarland does not come back. Here's Josh Wilson, last chance for the Revs. He's 1 for 3. And Burns turns and deals, and a foul back off the netting. Burns, another former Blue Jay farmhand. Big league time with the Padres and Rangers. Here's the 0-1, and that stays inside on Wilson. A loss, the Revs will fall to 2-5 against Lancaster. 1-1 pitch. And a swing and a dribbler toward third. It stays fair. Halton backhands, throws to first. Hobson stretches into foul ground to receive it. And that'll do it. Burns his 9th save, and the Barnstormers take the final 2 games this weekend. After the Revs had won the first one, 3-1 is your final here today. Stay tuned. Post-game show follows next.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, President of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-38